Hi, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to connect your siren to your IDS alarm system. This happens to be a 15-watt siren. There are ways of connecting a higher power siren, but for now I'm just going to be connecting the 15-watt siren. Now when you unpackage your siren, you'll see that it's got a positive and negative cable. So there we go, the negative is the black and the positive is the red. On the alarm panel, you'll see the word siren and there's a plus and there's a minus. So all you need to do is connect the minus to there and the positive to there. Right, there we go. Those are the correct connections. The siren will now work. I'm just going to put a cloth here because it's going to be very loud when I test the siren. Just having a look at the keypad, you can see it's ready to arm. The power LED is not flashing. If I press the trouble view, you'll see there's no troubles here. The siren is now connected. If your siren is disconnected, and I'll just show you, you will get a trouble view saying siren trouble. There you can see I've disconnected the alarm. Immediately you can see this LED is flashing. When I press the trouble view button, you can see it actually knows the siren is disconnected. So if you're getting that problem, just have a look and see the siren wiring. So there the siren is now connected. When I press the star button, now I press hash, and when I press the 7 again and hold it for the trouble view, you can see no trouble. So siren is now connected. I'm going to initiate an alarm by pressing the panic button. It's going to be loud. You'll see the panic activation on the LCD screen here. Right, so they are deactivated and there you can see the siren is working nicely. Now it's unlikely that you'll place the siren so close to the alarm panel, so I'm going to quickly show you what to do in order to get the siren far away. So I'm going to extend this wire so you can put the siren either outdoors or in the roof further away from the panel. Now a lot of people use the comms cable for the siren wires. Personally, I don't like to do that because the comms cable, especially if it's going to be a long run, will reduce the power output at the siren because of the volt drop across this cable. Why? Because the current carrying capacity of the comms cable is not that high. Now, if you are going to use the comms cable, try to use at least 2 strands. So say, for example, I'm going to use the comms cable. I'll use maybe the red and the yellow, and maybe the green and the black. So at least I'm doubling up the wires by using 2 strands for the positive and 2 strands for the negative. So that means I would do something like this. So that would mean I would extend the cable, so the red and the red yellow would now be my positive. You can see I've doubled up there. The red and yellow represent the red of the siren, the positive, and now the negative of the siren would now be connected to the green and the black. You do not have to use these color codes. I'm just giving you an example. Right, so then on the other side, which is probably 10 or so meters away, you will now pair the same black and green for the negative, which will go to the negative of the siren, and then the yellow and the red will be the positive to the positive of the siren. For best results with connections, rather solder the wires rather than just twisting them. Over time, the wire does corrode, especially if there's quite a lot of moisture in your environment or if it's outdoors. Now, if your cable run for your siren is going to be more than 10 meters, I highly suggest you use a thicker conductor. So here I have much thicker copper wire, pure copper wire, and I can connect that to my siren and obviously just be mindful of the polarity. Therefore, I will just be connecting this to the alarm panel and these will connect here, just making sure you are aware of the polarity. If you can see here on this wire, it actually shows me that there is a difference. This one has got dashes on it. I can correspond that to this side of the wire also with the dashes. Sometimes the wire's got threads inside and they're of different colors. You might find a red thread inside, you know that would be your positive. You connect that to the positive of the siren. Right, just troubleshooting siren problems. If you have a look at my keypad, it's got the flashing light. If I say trouble view, I press and hold that, it even says there's siren trouble. Right, so when I escape, you can see it won't go away. The siren is connected. Look, it's connected fine. We know the siren is working. Why is the trouble view still showing me siren trouble? Right, so what I'm going to do now is check if the fuse has blown. Now I've got a multimeter here and I've set it up for short circuit connection. So this is a short circuit. So if I just show you, if I measure across this tool, you can see it's a short circuit here. Listen to the buzzer. Right, so let me check across the fuse. Now it's best to do this with the alarm panel off, but I'm just going to quickly do this here and you can see that I'm measuring across the fuse And when I measure across the fuse, you can see that it's actually picking up a voltage. Look at my meter, it says 2.2 volts. So that means that this fuse is blown because it shouldn't have picked up a voltage. For example, there's another fuse, and if I measure across the fuse, look what my meter says. You can actually hear the meter telling me there's a continuity there, meaning the fuse is in working order. For example, here is a fuse which is in working order, and when I touch the two sides with my meter using the continuity measurement, listen to the meter. That tells me the fuse is in working order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this fuse. Again, please do this with the panel off. I just take my screwdriver and I'm going to flip the fuse out and inspect it. Right, you can see that this fuse is blown. That is why it is coming up with siren trouble. If I take my meter and measure across the fuse, we are not hearing any continuity. This fuse is defective. I'm now going to replace the fuse. It is a 4 amp fast. How I know that? It says F and there's a 4 just after it. Barely legible, but there it is, 4A, 4 amps. Right, I can now insert the fuse back in. When I measure across the fuse, listen to the meter. Right, so that has solved that problem. Let's check on the keypad if it accepts it. Right, so it still says power, but now I'm going to say trouble view. Right, it says siren trouble, but I bet you as soon as I clear the error, the power LED will stop flashing. Right, so it's accepted that, and now the siren is in working order. Right, so that brings me to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you do want to connect a much more powerful siren, maybe a 30-watt siren, a big one, then what I suggest you do is you will need something called a relay board. And what this relay board is going to do is you're going to use the siren output to control this relay board, which will then allow this relay board to allow a higher current to be connected to your bigger siren. I'm not going to show that in this video, it's going to make it really long. I do have some videos showing how to use these relay boards. Please check out my videos in the IDS playlist. Thanks for watching and cheers.